So I was soaking up the last few hours of summer after my son had already gone back to school, but before I had yet to start. And in the midst of a midday beer and a nap, some perusing on Marketplace found this. Baseball card, huge lot, 1980 to 2016, one sealed box, the other open, but packs intacted. $85 or best offer. Please read. That's interesting. So I clicked on it. Okay. 1983 Topps in the back, 1989 Bowman, 91 Donruss, 89 Topps, 2016 Topps, 85 Donruss, 82 Topps, but a small box, so no way that could be a complete set. 1980 Topps, very interesting, and a 1987 Topps vending box. Plus, a box of 1991 Leaf packs, and a box of 1993 Fleer packs. $85 for it all. No way any of these sets are complete for this price, right? These sets have all been pilfered for the big cards, no doubt. But a 1980 Topps partial set that is missing the Ricky, and maybe just a few other cards, sells for $100 or so. So if that box is mostly full of 1980 Topps, this collection could be worth it. So I sent the guy a note and asked him to send me a few pics with the boxes open. He obliged, and the boxes were full, and the cards were the correct color for the corresponding years. He did mention that the sets were not complete, but he didn't know which cards were missing. Alright, this could be interesting. It definitely will be fun. And what do I have to lose if I can sell the 1980 partial set to recoup most of, if not all, the money? Okay, I'll take it. He sent me his address, and whoo boy did this guy live out in the sticks, nearly 100 miles away from civilization. What the heck, I'm doing it. So I hopped in the car and drove off into the country, an impromptu road trip in search of baseball card zen. When I arrived at the guy's apartment, he was waiting for me with the cards in a small shopping cart. They were as described, and the boxes were full of the correct era cards. It was hot, so I wasn't going to ask this guy to stand in the parking lot in the direct sun, while I diligently searched each box to see if the big cards were there, when he had already told me they weren't. And it wasn't like there was any chance I was going to pass and drive 100 miles back home without the cards. So I gave the guy the $85 that he asked for. That's when he pulled out a 1997 set that wasn't part of the listing and told me that the set was bricked. So I was welcome to just have it, because otherwise he was just going to throw it away. Some of you may know I have some experience on bricking late 90s baseball card sets. Excitedly, I told him I'd love to try and save the cards. I shook his hand, loaded the cards up in the trunk, and off I went. I drove a mile or so down the road and pulled into a gas station. I couldn't wait, and I tore into the sets. The 89 Bowman did not have the Griffey rookie. Alright, I was expecting that. The 85 Donruss did not have the Clemens rookie, or the Puckett rookie. Alright, I expected that too. The 1980 Topps did not have the Ricky Henderson rookie, but of course it didn't. And the 1983 Topps set did not have the Tony Gwynn rookie, or the Boggs rookie, or the Sandberg rookie. Even though I was in no way expecting any of those cards to be there was still a small part of me hoping for a surprise. A few podcasts later, and I was back home with the collection on my table, ready to dig in. 12 boxes of cards for $85. Time to see how well I did. The 1991 Leaf box was unsealed. It was a hobby box of originally 36 packs, but after counting, there was only 31 packs there. The 1993 Fleer hobby box was still factory sealed. It's peak junk wax, but sealed packs can still have some value. I'm not really into sealed packs so much, so I'll likely sell these on to try and fund the set completions. On to the 1980 box. The Ricky wasn't there, but the cards were more or less already numbered, and most of the other big stars were there. When I saw Johnny Bench, I knew it hadn't been completely pilfered. After assessment, the set was almost complete, missing only 8 cards. The Jim Palmer was severely miscut, and since he's a Hall of Famer, I'll want to replace that, so that makes 9 cards I need for this set. The cards were overall in ex-mint condition. Apart from the Ricky Henderson rookie, it was missing card number 1, the Lou Brock and Yaz card, card number 4, the Pete Rose record breaker, which I have in my team set, but I only have 1 copy, so I'll need a second copy of that now. It was missing the Dave Winfield, the Ozzie Smith, the Reggie Jackson, Willie Stargell, and 1 common, card 629, Jim Todd. Very happy with that, but then I thought, I'm almost positive I've got a 1980 Reggie Jackson somewhere in my Hall of Fame box. So off to the closet I went, and sure enough, a Reggie. I probably picked this up for a quarter somewhere along the way, and now it can fulfill its true destiny. Just like that, we're down to 8 cards needed to complete the 1980 top set. The 1983 top set was even closer to completion. It was also in excellent condition and was only missing 3 cards, the big 3 of 83, the Boggs rookie, the Sandberg rookie, and the Tony Gwynn rookie. But some of you might recall I was at a show in early July in Tulsa where I snagged a Ryne Sandberg rookie for the low price of $3. How serendipitous. So off again I darted to my Hall of Fame box to retrieve the Sandberg, fulfilling further prophecy. That meant the 1983 set just needed 2 cards, the Boggs and the Gwynn. The 85 Donruss box was a little worse for wear, and one end was completely smashed. But thankfully, the cards weren't damaged. Flipping through, the set was almost complete. All the Diamond Kings were there. The full puzzle was there. The set was only missing 4 cards, the 2 you'd expect in the Clemens rookie and the Kirby Puckett rookie. But also it was missing the Don Mattingly and, curiously, Brett Saberhagen of all cards. The 1982 top set was a complete chunk, containing all cards from number 291 to 550. Where the other parts of this set are is anybody's guess. These cards were in beautiful near-mint condition, best of the lot by far. So I'll count this as a starter set for future completion. The 1987 Topps vending box had been opened, and I flipped through it looking for perhaps a Bonds or a Bo Jackson, and neither were in there. So ultimately this is just a box of 500 1987 commons. Not much doing. The 2016 Topps set had something spilled on it, and the box was a little sticky. Thankfully, the cards were undamaged. Out they came to be numbered and assessed. I took the opportunity to clean the muck off the box, too. The set was missing 7 cards, but a pretty random 7. The Corey Seager rookie was missing, but the Trey Turner rookie and the Kyle Schwarber rookies were there. Mike Trout was there, Bryce Harper was there, Mookie Betts was there, Clayton Kershaw was there. 6 missing commons, and the Corey Seager rookie. That's easy. The 1989 Bowman box was missing only 1 card, and you guessed it, it was the Griffey rookie. The Bowman-Griffey rookie doesn't quite have the same cachet as the Upper Deck, but 89 marked the return of Bowman, so it still has historical significance. I should be able to source the Bowman-Griffey rookie with ease and bring this set back to spec. The 1991 Donruss set looked great upon opening, but see this little pile of stuff? That's glue of some kind, and it was on the puzzle pieces, and had dripped down to the bottom of the box. I cleaned off the puzzle pieces easy enough, but the first card that was next to the puzzle pieces was Fubard. Mike Felder, card 535, was not salvageable, but the rest of the set was complete and in beautiful condition, for whatever that's worth, for one of the most hated sets of all time. I'm a healer at heart, so I will source a new Mike Felder card and bring this set back to mint. Whether I keep it or not, well, I'll decide that down the road. An interesting archaeological nugget with this set was that as I was excavating the cards from the box, I noticed one card that was much thicker than the others. Pulling it out, and it was an Upper Deck Manny Del Carmen rookie from 2006. How did that get in here? The 1989 top set was complete, and so all I needed to do was sleeve the big 3 rookies and call it a day. That left only the 1997 set, which came as a bricked freebie. And yeah, it was pretty bricked. So I got started on the unbricking process, laying out all the bricks to maximize the surface area to the air and just let them sit for at least a full day. About a third of the set was free and undamaged. The other 2/3 would need some work. For the really tight bricks, I busted out my locking lid storage containers with some warm water to makeshift humidor these things into submission. I had great success with this method back in episode 83. All it takes is time and patience. Some of the bricks were coming apart with no damage. It's a slow process, but I just put on a game and zen. It doesn't bother me. After assessing the full collection and getting my grubby hands on each card, I was very pleased with the buy. $85 bought me near-complete sets from 1980 Topps, 83 Topps, 85 Donruss, 89 Bowman, and 2016 Topps, plus a complete 1989 Topps set and a complete 1991 Donruss set, a partial 1982 Topps set, an 87 vending box, and 2 boxes of sealed packs. Given how little was actually missing from the sets, I'm starting this project on firm financial footing. The sealed packs just really aren't my thing, so they were the first to go up on Marketplace, and within a day I had them both sold. $25 for the sealed Fleer box and $15 for the unsealed and slightly light 1991 Leaf box. And this is an advantage for me living in a larger population area. I can find buyers, while the guy who sold me the collection lived in a tiny town way out in the country. Just like that, my total out-of-pocket spend was down to $45 for all the boxes. I already have an 89 top set. 2, actually. And I have 2 87 sets as well, so absolutely no need to keep those cards. I threw the 1989 set up on Marketplace with nice pictures of the 3 rookies for $20 and mentioned that I'd throw in the 1987 vending box in with it for free. The vending box itself is interesting enough that maybe someone would want it. The cards, not so much. In a day, I had a buyer. With another $20 coming my way, my out-of-pocket spend was down to just $25 for 7 near-complete sets. The 1980 top set as it sat was worth at least double that, maybe triple. So the foundation of this collection rescue was solid and unshakable. And in the meantime, I was able to get the 1997 set totally unbricked. Now, some of the cards were unsavable, but I did the best I could. As I numbered and checked the cards against the list, I recorded 13 missing cards, including the Bonds and the Jeter and the Jackie Robinson tribute card. Plus, there were 93 cards with some level of speckling damage from the bricking. I'll need 106 cards to bring this one all the way back. But I got the box for free. So if I can find someone willing to sell me 1997 Topps Commons for 10 cents a piece or so, a scant $10 will heal all the wounds, and a mint 1997 set sells in the $40 range, making it well worth doing. What's my goal with this collection? Well, I definitely want to keep and complete the 1980 set and the 1983 set. With the prospect of buying a Rickey Henderson rookie and a Tony Gwynn rookie, I may not be able to get these sets to net $0, but I'm hoping to be close. Completing some of the other sets will unlock some equity, which when sold can help fund the purchase of the Rickey. The finances on this one will be tight to get it back to net $0, and I'm beginning Reconstruction $25 in the hole. With my lists made, a plan forged, and clear skies ahead, it's time to go shopping. So I took the opportunity to duck into a new card shop, Centerfield Sports Cards. I was greeted by the friendly owners who were happy to help me find whatever my collecting soul desired. I asked about the Rickey Henderson rookie from 1980, as well as a Gwynn and Boggs rookie from 1983. They had a Gwynn and a Boggs both in the case, both PSA 8s, but I'm looking for ungraded cards to go in a set box. They had a Rickey too, ungraded and in pretty good shape, but at $75 was a little more than I wanted to pay for a set card. With nothing that I was looking for in their cases, they directed me to their ample dollar boxes, $5 boxes, and $10 boxes. Before long, I found an 81 Donruss Tim Raines rookie for $1. Say it with me. If you find a Hall of Fame rookie for $1, you buy it. So this was the first card into the pile. Soon thereafter, a well-centered and crisp-cornered 1978 Topps Robin Yount revealed itself. Another $1 well spent. And along the same lines, another $1 vintage Hall of Famer I snagged was the 1980 Topps Dave Winfield, which is one of the scant few cards I need, apart from the Rickey, to complete a 1980 Topps set I've been working on. After a while perusing the dollar boxes, I stepped up to the $5 boxes and made some real progress on my shopping list. First among them was the 1989 Bowman Ken Griffey Jr. rookie. $5 was about the price I was expecting to pay for this card, the lone card I needed to complete a 1989 Bowman set. Justin Verlander's rookie was in there too, but he's not a Hall of Famer yet. For $1, I probably buy it. For $5, I wait until he gets into Cooperstown. Just after the Verlander, I found Wade Boggs. I came in here hoping to find an 83 Boggs rookie, and here it was, $5. A fair price. That means I only need the Gwynn rookie to complete my 1983 set. With all these sets I've been completing, I helped myself to their ample supply shelf and got some new set boxes for $2 each, already folded together. Another great price. I added $11 to my low buck collecting flip budget with the Boggs, the Griffey, and the Winfield cards, for those keeping track. My search for an appropriate Rickey Henderson rookie continues. So here I am at a 150 table show, hoping to find a Rickey Henderson rookie and a Tony Gwynn rookie, among other targets. Some of those other targets include an 85 Donruss Kirby Puckett rookie and a Roger Clemens rookie. And the first dealer in the door on the right-hand side had an all-rookies case with both of the 85 Donruss cards I needed. Multiple copies of each, actually. He wanted $10 each. I offered $15 for both. A fair offer for these cards, which I could probably find for $5 online. But for $7.50 here, I'm happy to just check them off the list immediately. He initially refused, insisting on $20, but I pointed out the corner damage on the Clemens, which, given his thick glasses, I'm not sure he knew was there. After realizing the ding, he acquiesced and gave me the cards for $15. And even though Phillies cards weren't my priority at this show, I still had to pick up a Harper for the kid. So I stopped at a box that seemed like easy pickings and was able to quickly pull this 2025 Topps Chrome Harper from the latest release. $1 later, my fatherly duties complete, I was able to start hunting for a Rickey Henderson rookie, which I found in short order. And interestingly, it was in an off-brand Arena Club slab, a grade of 3, for whatever that's worth, for Arena Club. And even though it was a 3, it had very obvious damage on the corner when it was put into the slab. That little piece could easily be flipped back around, and it would look so much better. But someone made a decision to leave it like that, in a slab, no less. The dealer wanted $45 for it. I noted the price point, caring not about the slab, which I would have cracked in any case, and I decided to keep on looking. Just a few dealers down, I found another Henderson rookie, this one marked at $40. All four corners looked superior to the previous slabbed specimen, as did the surface, and this one was starting more than 10% cheaper to boot. Okay, I have a new top contender. I told the guy I'd finished my loop, but I might be back for it. He seemed suspicious. I had a Tony Gwynn rookie sighting, but this guy wanted $50 for it, which was way too high. I should be able to get that card in the $20 range easily. With $50 as the first ask, it wasn't worth trying to bargain him down, so I just noted the price point and kept on searching. On I went and found more Rickey rookies, and Gwynn rookies too, in the same case. The Rickey was pretty low grade. The surface was kinda AFU, the corners were all knackered, it was off-center, and the guy wanted $80 for it. I didn't tell him about the two other Rickeys I had already seen, both in better condition, and both for half the price. The Gwynn was in pretty poor condition too, and I was certain I could do better than the $40 that the guy wanted for it. But not all was lost, as this dealer had some 1980 singles available, including 3 of the cards I needed to complete my 1980 top set. The Barack and Yaz card, number 1, the Pete Rose, number 4, and the Willie Stargell. $1 apiece got me to within 3 cards of a complete set. Rounding out the few tables I hadn't perused, I came upon a dealer I knew well who gave me a nod as I walked up, as he was dealing with other people. I've been through these boxes before, which the dealer first brought to this show all the way back in Highs and Lows 3. I bought a Carlton rookie out of this box nearly 2 years ago, one of many cards I've bought from this guy. I bought a Harper rookie from him back in Highs and Lows 8, and a Tolstoy-backed T206 Sherry McGee back in Highs and Lows 9. I've developed a relationship with this dealer over time. I even bumped into him at the National, making us both laugh when we realized who the other was. But I had a different list this time. This box did not have a Rickey rookie in it, or a Gwynn rookie, but one of the few cards I still needed for my 1980 top set was the Ozzie Smith, his second-year card with the Padres. So in I went, and out popped the Ozzie, in nice condition too. I looked at the price. Sheesh, $30. No way this guy actually wants $30 for this. It's a $5 card on its best day. His associate came over and asked if I needed help. And I asked about the price, and the guy just deflected. Well, you'll have to ask the boss. So I waited for the boss to finish up, and he came over and he shook my hand. He said, "What's up, Phillies guy?" We did a little catching up, chuckled again about having bumped into each other at the National, and then I asked him if he was serious about the $30 on the Ozzie. He smiled and said, "Nah, Those stickers were still on there from the last dealer and were all marked at high Beckett book value. Then he said, "Listen, you've bought so much stuff from me over the years. If you want it, just take it." And friends, this is why you build relationships with dealers and why dealers should build relationships with buyers. It was a low-risk, low-dollar way for a dealer to thank me for years of patronage, and a low-risk, low-dollar way to ensure I stop at his table next time and buy more stuff. This guy isn't quite putting things in a personal stash for me yet, but we're getting close. Happy with the freebie, I parted ways. I had one more stop to make. I beelined back to the table where I saw the second Ricky Henderson rookie, and the card was thankfully still there. I asked to take it out of the sleeve, revealing a pretty well-centered card, with nice enough edges and corners for a set card, and just a bit of graining on the surface. Hoping there was a little room on it, I offered $30, the low end of what a card in this condition goes for these days. He came back at $35, a show of good faith, and I was happy to close the deal there. I'm not looking for a stunner. I'm looking for a card that will live in a box with the rest of the set, with its 791 little brothers. A lot of the time, the values of this card get pulled artificially high because of the rarity of the Gem Mint 10s out there that go for over $100,000. Apart from the Gem Mint 10s, this card isn't rare. So if I overpaid at $35, it was only by $5 or so. And if I paid $35 on it on eBay, it would have been before tax and shipping, getting me close to $50 out the door. Having run out of tables to peruse, I was able to get closer to the completion of my 1980 top set, just 2 cards short now. I was able to get closer to completing my 1985 Donruss set, now just needing 2 cards to complete that set. But I was not any closer to finishing the 1983 top set. I just didn't see the right Tony Gwynn rookie for the right price. The search goes on. To get you caught up, I sold off the sealed wax, the 89 set, and the 87 vending box for a combined $60, bringing the total spend down to $25, but I had many cards to buy to bring these sets back to mint. A visit to an LCS in Springfield, Missouri helped to cross some of the items off my shopping list. There I picked up an 83 Boggs rookie for $5, and an 89 Bowman Griffey rookie also for $5, and a 1980 Topps Dave Winfield for an additional $1. With the Griffey, the 1989 Bowman set was now complete, and my total spend rose to $36 for the collection. Not too long after that, I was able to get to a card show. I was able to snag the Puckett rookie and the Clemens rookie from 85 Donruss for $7.50 each, leaving only 2 cards needed to complete that set. I found 3 of the 1980 Topps cards I needed for $1 apiece, and ended that show by picking up a Ricky Henderson rookie for $35. After a few weeks of shopping, I was $89 in the hole, and still needed 8 cards from 2016, 1 card from 1991 to replace a damaged card, 2 cards from 1985, 2 cards from 1980, an 83 Topps Tony Gwynn rookie, and about 100 cards from 1997 Topps to replace damaged cards from bricking. I checked around online, but I knew I could probably get most of the remaining cards at my LCS. I live close to 3 great card stores, but one of them specializes in having singles from practically every post-war set. So on a random Friday afternoon, I ducked out of work a bit early and off I went to Cleves to see if I could knock out this punch list. Big cards first, I asked about the Gwynn rookie, and they had no less than 13 copies from which I could choose, and I chose this one. Nice all the way around, but not flawless. This card is going into a set after all. $20 for the Gwynn rookie. Next up was 1980 Topps, and I needed 1 common, card 629, Jim Todd, and 1 Hall of Famer in Jim Palmer. The Jim Palmer was just to replace the card I already had, but that was severely miscut. $1 for the pair. Next was the 85 Donruss Don Mattingly and Brett Saberhagen rookie. Of course, they had both, and I had my choice of multiple copies. I chose these, $1 each. The 2016 Topps box came out next, and I was cruising. Card 43, check. Card 85, Check. Card 113? Check. Card 350? This was a first for me. This shop didn't have the 2016 Topps card number 350. That's Chris Bryant for the kids playing at home. I joked with the owner about it, and he was just as surprised as I was that there was a missing card. It turns out they were missing 2 cards, as they also didn't have card 675 either. 6 cards of 8 needed, 3 for $1, so $2 more into the budget. But still, 2 cards short. They had the 1991 Donruss card I needed, card 535, and threw it in for free. That left just 1997 Topps. We pre-negotiated a rate for the 1997 commons at 5 cents each and 50 cents for any stars. I ended up with a large stack of 1997 Topps cards for another $6. I was just a few cards short of a complete set here, too. But I was close. I relaxingly organized the cards into their respective sets, pondering the $120 now spent on this collection and the few cards still needed. The 1980 Topps set was the most satisfying to complete. Taking the Ricky out of the packaging from the show revealed a little forensic hilarity in that it had been priced a number of different times. It began life priced at $100, came down to $40, went back up to $60, came back down to $40 again, and finally sold to me for $35. With the Ricky Henderson properly sleeved and on top, this set is complete. 1983 Topps was next, and I just needed to add the Gwynn rookie alongside the Boggs and the Rhino. Set complete. Just 2 cards to slip into the 1985 Donruss box. No need to sleeve either of those. With the Mattingly and Saberhagen safely entombed, this set is complete. For the 2016 set, I added the cards that I had acquired, but it was still not complete. For the 2 remaining cards I needed, eBay was my only option. I had been to a show, 2 card shops, and I put out an APB in the local card group to no avail. So to eBay I went, and all in, I had to spend $3.16 to get the Bryant and Sanchez cards. That's a lot for commons, but this is where those eBay sellers can do well if they're willing to list all these commons and just let them sit there until a schmuck like me needs a random common to complete a set and has no other option than to pay $1.50 for a card worth a nickel. I had no other option though, so, When they arrived, it was quite satisfying to slide each card into place. Another set, complete. While figuring out what to do for the remaining 20 or so 1997 Topps cards I needed, I replaced the 1991 Donruss card to bring that set back to fully mint. In doing so, I realized I was not excited to add this one to the collection. It brought me no Marie Kondo joy, so I decided to sell it. But that got me thinking. I've got some other sets that weren't bringing me joy either. There were some other junk sets I picked up way back in episode 37. As part of that flip, I acquired, among other sets, a sealed 1988 Topps set, a sealed 1989 Topps set, an 88 Donruss set, and an 88 Fleer set. I have my hand-collated sets from those years that I collected when I was a kid, plus multiple copies of the Hall of Famers and rookies from those sets. They mean something to me, and I'll keep them forever. But I don't need duplicates. And because of the finances of that deal, I owned all of those sets for $0. It was time to cash in that equity. So I threw all 5 of the sets up on Marketplace for $100, knowing someone would probably offer me $80, and then someone offered me $80, and those 5 sets were gone. My total collection flip budget came down to $43.16. While I was dealing with all of that, a fan of the channel reached out via email to let me know he had a bunch of 1997 Topps cards laying around, and maybe we could arrange a trade. Heck yeah, we can. So I sent him the numbers that I needed, and he had all of them. So he mailed me the 1997 Topps Commons, and I made some custom binder spine inserts for his collection. A fun trade that I won't count against my budget. Trades like this are ultra low buck, high enjoyment fun, and I wish we could find ways to do more of it as a collective hobby. When the cards arrived, I dutifully swapped out the damaged cards from the bricking for the mint cards, and just like that, I had a complete 1997 Topps set, a set that I rescued from the threat of a dumpster. With that, all my remaining sets from this collection flip are complete. 1980 Topps, 1983 Topps, 1985 Donruss, 1989 Bowman, 1997 Topps, and 2016 Topps, for a total spend of $43.16. An average price of $7.19 per set. And it took about a month. $7.19 for a complete 1980 Topps set. Not bad, right? Averaging the last few completed sales on eBay, a 1980 Topps set goes for a few bucks north of $200 these days. A 1983 Topps set is about $100. An 85 Donruss set is about $60. An 89 Bowman set is about $30. A 1997 Topps set is about $40. And a 2016 set is about $60. But since my box is all FUBAR'd, this is more like a $50 set. Rough and easy math puts the value here at about $450 for all of these now complete and restored sets. That's a 10x multiplier over my final cash output of $43 and change. I could have stopped there, but the frugal fusspot in me wanted to see if I could get this one to net $0, so after some thick, thoughtful thinking, I decided that the 2016 set was most out of line with the rest of my collection, and the box wasn't a hold forever keepsake in any case. With 2016 sets selling in the $60 range, I was fairly confident that I could squeeze $40 or maybe even $45 out of this set, even with the crappy box. So I took a risk and threw my now complete set up on Marketplace for $50. Highlighting the condition of the cards and explaining the lower than comp price came from the condition of the box and the box alone. And I had a spare box I could throw in for free. To my great surprise, in less than an hour, I had an offer for $40. I countered at $45, the guy accepted, and he picked it up that night. And boom. I ended this flip on the plus side by a buck and change. It took a month. It took some wheeling and dealing. It took multiple card stores, a card show, a trade, some eBay, and some Marketplace. But now I have a complete X-Mint 1980 Topps set, a complete X-Mint 1983 Topps set, an 85 Donruss complete set, an 89 Bowman complete set, and a 1997 Topps complete set, all acquired for net $0. For free. And it was so much fun. These sets will now enter my permanent collection, and the 1980 set for certain, and the other sets most likely, will continue to slowly creep up in value over the years. And I can always open them up to thumb through and reminisce. Reminisce about the cards and the players, sure, but also about the art of collecting. Thanks for watching. Help support the channel with the purchase of some custom cardbox dividers. Email me at philliesbaseballcards@gmail.com to talk about